Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. I am your host, CWall. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to join me on the live edition. Well, we only do the show live, right? We only do this thing live. Another live edition of Coaching from the Couch, where we are doing a rundown of all the sports happenings in the Washington metropolitan area. Already see folks checking in. See my good guy Lash checking in. Jermaine Presley, how are you? And bless you as well. Everybody say hello to my mom. Say hello to Mama Waller as she is checking in now. You all, as usual, we have a ton of sports topics to be talking about. We're going to go the rundown of the professional sports in the area. You all want to make sure you are tagging your DMV sports loving family and friends in this post, because it's always awesome and fun to watch the show later. But don't we have a great time talking about sports live? It's always a good time when you're talking about it live. And trust me, Damon, I saw you check in. We have another Kenneth on the line with us, Kenneth Burrows. My niece Bianca has checked in. CWall team member Joy Butler, who is always moderating the chat. Say what's up to her. Cameron Mingo is always checking in. So before we get started, I need you all to check in with a like or a love emoji so that I know you are absolutely in the building. Like I said, make sure you tag your homies in, tag your people in, because they definitely want to be a part of this conversation. For certain. Last week, which was my birthday. Didn't that week go by fast, y'all? I feel like it should still be my birthday, but it's not. That was last Thursday. But last Thursday, I asked a very important question to my Caps fans. I said, Caps fans, are the Caps in trouble? Are we in trouble in Washington Capital land? And we all knew, it was inevitable. But we wanted to keep hope alive. We wanted to just say, hey, maybe, just maybe, this will not be the third consecutive year of the Washington Capitals exiting the playoffs in the first round. Maybe let's hold on to hope and let's be positive. What happened, you all? What happened? What did we witness with the Capitals? Yes. Another first round exit. The Capitals have, as I just mentioned, have lost in the first round of the playoffs for the third consecutive year. They won the Stanley Cup in 2018, 19, 20, and in 21. First round exit. That was tough, you all. That was really tough for me because I was really hoping to see the Caps go much further. But they didn't. What a disappointment. What a letdown. Here's a big topic. And we brought this up on the show a couple of months ago. Is that Alex Ovechkin's contract is up. The Great Eight, his contract is up. So that means they have to re-sign him. General Manager Brian McClellan has been talking to media all week. Absolutely has been very clear about wanting to keep Ovi in a Capitals uniform for the duration and the remainder of his career. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I don't know if it was last week or perhaps it was the week before. I mentioned to you all that Ovi and his wife are now investors with the professional women's soccer team. So this is a big deal. This is a big time. We brought this up a couple of months ago on the show that this was going to be a topic that Caps fans need to be tracking and need to be watching. General Manager McClellan has already shared, that he knows that fans are asking for the organization to blow it all up. But he mentioned to media earlier this week, if you blow it all up, you're making the decision to not bring Backstrom and Ovechkin back to the lineup. General Manager McClellan shares he believes that is a mistake. So it was good to hear him say that because I agree. I think that would be a mistake. But Cameron, I see your point. And this is another thing that's been coming up as well. With the new Seattle team and the expansion team, the team could potentially lose Oshie. They could potentially lose Kuzi. The thing of it is, though, Kuzi didn't really play much this year. And if we're being really fair and honest, we haven't seen Kuzi really contribute in the manner he did the Stanley Cup year. But you don't want to lose Oshie. I mean, if you got to pick one, right? But Kuzi was out with what? He had COVID twice this season, so he didn't play much at all. So I really want to know what you all think. I think and agree with GM McClellan that it would be a mistake to not bring Ovi back. It's tough. It's tough to see another first round exit, especially after winning the Stanley Cup. Like, here's a reality. We all know sometimes teams, it just clicks. It just works. It's like a magical season. And the Stanley Cup was exactly that for the Washington Capitals. But we all knew that this time was coming, that this year was coming, in which a decision was going to need to be made. And let's hope, at least I hope, that the Caps make the decision to do whatever they have to do to keep Ovi. It would be a shame if the Caps couldn't work that out. Now, Ovi represents himself. I think we mentioned that on the show before as well. Alexander Ovechkin, he does his own business. He does not have an agent. He works his own deal. And so I absolutely believe that he will do all that he can to stay with the team. I believe he wants to be here. I think him investing in the Washington Spirit was a clear indicator that he intends on being in this area for the long term and that he intends on retiring a Washington Capital. So, I don't know what you all's thoughts are, but I've shared with you my thoughts. This is a big deal. A big deal. I've been telling you all, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, and let's see what the Caps organization does. I think they'll do the right thing. What do you all think? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you all think about what the Caps are going to do in the comments. While we're switching over to the Nats conversation, I see a couple other folks chiming in and coming on in. Want to say we always have to greet the CWall team members. CWall chaplain Mazdak is checking in. Eric Armstrong, I see you as well. Make sure you all are sharing this show with your DMV sports loving family and friends, because we always have a ball when we're talking sports live. You can always watch the show later, but it's always a ball when we can talk live. Quick Nats update, because I just feel like I have to say this. One of my favorite former Washington Nationals is in town this week. That is Sean Doolittle. Everyone knows Sean Doolittle now plays for the Cincinnati Reds. They gave Sean an amazing welcome home greeting because, of course, he is still part of the Washington national family. So, of course, we want the Nats to beat the Reds. But Sean is always a part of the Washington national family, our absolute favorite Jedi. So here on the CWall Sports and Entertainment Coach from the Couch Show, we want to give a what's up to Sean as well and a welcome home, even though we know it's only for a couple of days. Very interesting, and just wanted to mention this really quick. If you didn't know, the Nats are playing right now. They were also playing earlier today because of the weather last night. You know, there were storms all throughout the Washington metropolitan area. So the game had to be suspended. The game had already started, had to be suspended due to inclement weather. It resumed today at 2. They wrapped up about an inning and a half. The Nats won, by the way, 5-3. And now, right now, they're playing again. So Strasburg was the starting pitcher. We'll see what happens with the game. But very interesting. If anybody was at the game, I know it was a lot going on with that storm. Those storms blew through here last night, didn't they? Here was another interesting stat that I saw on the Washington Nationals page. And it's that Trey Turner is the second player in the league right now with 10 home runs and 10 stolen bases this season. I feel like I haven't really talked about Trey yet this season, so I had to shout Trey out because he doing his thing a little bit out there. He's balling out a little bit. So shout out to Trey Turner. Keep up the good work. That's it for the Nats update. More to come. I'm still not panicking with anything regarding the Nats. We just going to see how this thing continues to progress. Mystics fans, Mystics, the Washington Mystics. I do want to just share a quick update on the Washington Mystics. Elena Delle Donne is still out due to her injury to her back. But I absolutely wanted to shout out Natasha Cloud and Ariel Atkins because after the Mystics win against the Indiana Fever on Tuesday night, they dedicated their press conferences to the 1-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. They did not take any questions with the media. Natasha had a written statement that she wanted to share. If you have not seen it, I implore you to go online and check it out. It was absolutely, it was just moving. It was compelling. And I'm continuously impressed with Monumental Sports as an organization because they want their players to speak out. And I'm always continuously impressed with how Natasha, Ariel, and others absolutely use their platform to get the message shared and get it heard. Ariel Atkins specifically asked and told media that she was only discussing the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act of 2020. It's a police reform bill. It passed in the House of Representatives, but it has since stalled in the Senate. And I think that was important for me to mention because that's what they want us to do. If they're sharing their platform and they're telling us as media, this is the message. We're not taking any questions about the game, but we are sharing a message that you can go forth and tell. I wanted to be able to be one of the media folks that have now going forth and telling the message that they shared on Tuesday, in the hopes that you all will share that message as well. It was extremely compelling, as I just mentioned. They continue to speak out and speak up, and that's what we all should be doing. So kudos to the Mystics as they continue to be trailblazers and leaders when it comes to social justice reform. I'm so proud of the team, and I'm so proud of the organization in the city for continuing to support them in that initiative and in that effort. So kudos to the Mystics on that, and keep up the outstanding work. Wizards fans, check in. Where are the Wizards fans? Where are you? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. because I keep a running show here that you outline the topics and what you're going to discuss. And the first thing that I have is I don't even know what to say about this one. I actually typed that out when I was doing the runner show. And see, Cameron already knows what time it is. He knows. He absolutely knows. And very soon, the Triple W podcast, I will be joining my colleagues on the Triple Dub to talk all Wizards. But I'm here with you all now. I don't even know what to say. What do you all think? I mean, I'm going to go back to the one word game. And we're going to play this game on the Triple Dub podcast too, as well. Which is, what's your one word? Give one word to describe the way the Wizards have entered into playoff season. They're down 2 games against the Philadelphia 76ers. So I absolutely want to know your one word. Come on through, Wizards fans. What's your one word? Listen. Brad is present. Brad has joined the playoff, the playoff contingent. He's here and available. And John, I see your comment disappointing. Leon, you said they're done. Lash, depthless. Cameron Mingo, frustrating. All of those things. Certainly. All of the above. Lash is adding another one. Benchless. Listen. Bradley Beal is getting absolutely no help. None. So far. In this playoff season. So super unfortunate that Russell Westbrook is dealing with an injury. And you can tell it is even, if he's more frustrated than anybody about his injury and his play right now. But I'm going to tell you, it's 2 folks that I'm just continuously just shocked and appalled by. And that is Davis Bertans. We talked about Davis a little bit last week. I was being very nice last week because it was my birthday. Right? I was holding on to positivity last week because it was a great day. And today is a great day as well. Let me be clear. Today is also a great day. Davis Bertans has been, for myself, the biggest disappointment that I've seen this season. And the Wizards, especially coming off of that huge contract that he received, this is just appalling at how poor he has played the entire season. Now, you all know, I will be the first one to say, I do understand and know that Davis is one of the players that had COVID and had to, deal with the lasting long-term recovery symptoms and effects of that. And I completely understand that. But to Lawrence Bullard's point here, Bertans is stealing good money. He's a thief. He's a robber. And I just, I'm holding back a little bit, but it's just, it's bad. It's just bad. And it fouled out with 11 minutes left in the game. What do you, okay, Davis. Let's just say that was a very poor decision on the organization's behalf to give him that size of a contract anyway, based on nothing. As far as I was concerned, I was kind of shocked that they gave him all of that. I was like, oh my gosh, who did they just sign? Larry Bird? I mean, that's not who Davis has ever been. And it's always that hope that Davis is going to have a hot game. But when you give somebody a contract of that magnitude, there is no hope. You have to know that this is what you're going to get every single night. And he doesn't do that at all. I don't even know if and the thing of it is, I know that David, it's like he's frustrated in himself. He knows he's bad, everybody. And if you ever watched any of the press conferences, talking to him last night, Davis knows he's not good. He knows he's not doing well at all. And it's frustrating to watch because of the money that they gave him based on hope. It wasn't based on fact. It was based on trying to measure potential, and the potential was never even there in the first place. So, you know, I'm going to stop myself now because we do have to get to the Washington football team. But I wanted to mention Davis, and I wanted to mention Rui Hachimura. And y'all know I like Rui. I like Rui a lot. I really do. But Rui is just, I don't know. Something is off. And I'm seeing the same Wizards team that played the Celtics last Tuesday. And I said, what happened? And I made the joke. I said, they look like they were all fighting in the car and had to come in the party and act like they had some sense. I don't know, but it's definitely disturbing to me because I would see Rui. It was like he was coming into his own and he was really taking charge out there on the court. And now it's like he's just, I don't know. It's like he's scared of the basketball. He doesn't know what to do. I'm not really sure, but the energy is not there. The rigor is not there. The same level of determination that I felt like got this team into the play-in is just non-existent. Now, they'll be back at home on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure they'll win. They'll do better, but the reality is this: are they going to win the series? Don't gas us for a couple games and then go back to doing the same old, same old. It's a waste of everybody's time. And we all know that Scott Brooks, I mean, if you're listening, matter of fact, I mean, you know, sometimes I can figure out a lineup that you could try. I can figure out a lineup, if you like, that perhaps will help you help your team. We can just start we could probably list out some lineups right here, right now on this chat that would help. More remains to be seen. Hopefully next week this time, I won't be talking about how the Wizards have been kicked out of the playoffs already in their first round exit. Perhaps they'll still give it a go for a little bit longer. We shall see. Washington football team fans, where are you? Please check in. The like and love emoji. I need the like and love emoji from all of the Washington football team fans. I saw the 85 South fan club check in. I see the chief of DC has checked in. I see others checked in as well. The Washington football team. This week started organized team activities, also known as OTAs. So, you know, here's the thing. I'm going to start with the good news, right? So the good news is Coach Rivera thought the team has done so well that they don't even have to. He canceled the third week of OTAs, has moved minicamp up. I'm like, oh, Coach Rivera is really happy with how things are going. And that's wonderful. That's good. Going back to Tuesday, as I mentioned earlier, Tuesday being the 1-year anniversary of the George Floyd murder, Coach Rivera did have team president Jason Wright out there at the beginning of OTAs to speak to the players and take a moment of silence, to just be in that moment, discuss that moment, and just them come together as a team. I thought that was important for me to say on the show, because when have you ever known the team to do anything of that sort ever? So I think that was good. I think that was awesome. I wanted to share that if you all didn't know. So for this week, some of the players that were back from injury: Landon Collins was there, DeShazer Everett, Matt Ioannidis. Let me say that again. Matt Ioannidis. You know I like Matt Ioannidis. Sadiq Charles and Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen was out there. Can you all believe it? Whoa. So while you all are commenting about things you really enjoyed and liked and what you heard about OTAs, here's just a little bit of updates on training camp. Okay? So for training camp, clubs are allowed to carry a 90-man roster to begin camp. Then the rosters, cut down for rosters to 85 players by August 17th. 80 players by August the 24th, and 53 players by the end of August 31st. So, as a reminder, and I'm going back for a little bit because I see folks commenting about certain things with OTAs. OTAs are voluntary. They're voluntary. You be there when you got to be there. But the team had 86 players show up, which is very good. But going back to training camp, did y'all get those dates? I think it's very important. Hold on. And July 27th is the date for training camp. League-wide practices and fan events are expected to begin July 31st. Okay? I think that's an important point, fans. It's a very, very, very important point. The NFL will allow fans to attend training camp. I will repeat, league-wide practices and fan events are expected to begin July the 31st. So, I don't want to read this one. Hold on. Coach Rivera, press conferences. There were many press conferences earlier this week. And as always, whenever there's some interesting tidbits that are shared in the press conferences, I always want to mention them on the show. And I see Russ has checked in. I see my big brother Dervin has checked in. Lee Evans, I see you as well. Let's get into some of this from the press conferences. Check in and let me know in the comments if you have already listened to the press conferences this week. Interesting. Last week we talked a bit about the team releasing Morgan Moses and Jerron Christian. Coach Rivera's comment to that is we are just going in a different direction. We have an opportunity to get some young guys on the field, and we went out and brought in a veteran left tackle. Feel very comfortable with those decisions because of the players that we have on the roster right now. They're both good players and have been good players for us. They will continue to be good players in the league. We just felt it was an opportunity to get some young guys on the field. Basically, what I believe Coach Rivera is saying, we needed to send them on their way. Okay. Sadiq Charles was playing at left tackle the other day. It was absolutely an opportunity for him to work. That's per what Ron Rivera said. On Landon Collins, you can see he is coming back. He is into it. This is really good to see. All the good things. Want to mention his response to the question about the linebacker position, which I think is important. By week 1 of the regular season, you would like to have your primary guys set. Hey, this is where you're going to be for the most part, but still having the ability to adapt if something were to happen. That is, again, a big part of the reason we talked about position flex. You never know how things are going to play out, and if someone is going to get hurt or something happens, you have to move a guy from one spot to another. You want to make sure you put the best player on the football field. If you have a guy that plays one spot and something happens, that's a tough situation. We are going to continue to move our guys around, develop them as we get into training camp, and then further along in training camp, and you guys, will settle in their primary positions. I think that is important because position flex, versatility, those are words I'm continuously hearing be said, and clearly that's something that this coaching staff is looking at. Guys that can move around, that can play in multiple positions. So I think that was important. On the offensive line, and Sam Cosmi Coach Rivera's comment is, it's early. He's taking snaps on both sides of the ball. It's hard to say. He's done a really nice job. We got to see him last week move around, and then today I will get an opportunity even more to look around and then get with the offensive line coach and the assistant coach and see how he looked today. So all just kind of, some stuff that you want to hear. Wanted to mention this because I feel like I saw someone ask this question on the show a couple weeks ago. Coach Rivera was asked about AGG, Antonio Gandy Golden, and Kelvin Harmon, how they looked coming back from injury. And he said they both look good. Kelvin made a nice catch along the sideline early on, and it's good to see him moving around. He's a guy we missed last year. AGG, it was good seeing him out there, big physical presence. Guys like that most certainly have roles. So I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was important as well. To the comment I saw, I think it was Cameron. Of course, the coach was asked about Chase Young and Montez Sweat not being in attendance. And he said, hey, I know they have talked to their position coaches. We stress that it is voluntary. You would love to have everyone here. We have 86 guys here. It's nice to see everyone, but guys are entitled to what they feel they need to do right now. They're both good young football players, and they will be here when they are here. So I thought that was a good response. It is what that is. Of course, they're happy to have Brandon Sheriff there, feeling in terms of him being a leader. All good stuff. I was going to make some mentions about Ryan Fitzpatrick and his presser. He seems to like the energy and just be happy that he has an opportunity to show who he can still be out there on the field. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I wanted to mention Ryan's comment or response to the question about Sammy's Reyes, who, if you haven't seen it already, if you have not seen it already, I did an interview with him a couple weeks ago. Super cool guy, ready to ball out. But here is Fitzpatrick's response on Reyes. He is certainly putting it together. The first time I saw tight end O.J. Howard, I said that this guy was put on earth to play tight end in the NFL. Sammy's might even be bigger than him, just in terms of his frame and how muscular he is. We have not had a ton of time to talk or do a lot of work on the field with him, but he's definitely a guy that you see and take note of. There are not a whole lot of human beings on earth that look like that. So I thought that was cool and interesting. Leon, I see your question. Crowded wide receiver room. Who's the odd man out? The tight ends. They've added another person to their tight end room. And one thing I can say going really quick about the tight ends is I know at least I have, and I believe you all have too, said, hey, they need a tight end. We need some tight ends. And it seems like they know that too. And it's going to be a for real competition for those starting positions. I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. It is a crowded wide receiver room, and it remains to be seen who's going to be the odd man out. This training camp is going to be legit. This training camp is going to be legit. And here's why I feel that way. Last year with Ron Rivera coming in and the pandemic happening, was so much that was missed. And training camp and what could really be done, and everyone was trying to figure out how to maneuver and getting used to all the different protocols. But this year, that's a little bit more, a bit more under control. And I think everyone is excited to just be out there and be ready to go. And it will absolutely be competitive, because if I am being just really honest, I think one of the things that Coach Rivera and staff probably regrets is not having that opportunity to have that competition at a number of the positions. That was just the way it happened. It was just, it was pandemic driven. So you couldn't have a lot of that competition, but this year you can. So it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. Training camp is going to be serious. And I can't wait until it all goes down for certain. Before I close, because we are almost at the end of the show, I do want to ask y'all, and I put it here, before I forget, do you all think Jay-Z is going to buy a stake in the Washington football team? Hey, listen, let's be honest about something. This is a rumor that's been going around for quite some time now. So what do you all think? As far as I'm concerned, anything is possible. You know, it's not a bad idea. I will also say this. I don't know, but if you really want to be honest, right? If we really want to be honest about the changes that the Washington football team is doing, you know, from a diversity and an inclusion perspective, this team is making headlines, absolute headlines. Now, we all know that there were reasons for the changes. Absolutely. We all know this, and we're not even going to get into that this evening. But their response and taking corrective action and the way it even looks and feels and how everything is going on in that organization, I mean, why wouldn't a Jay-Z want to be a part of that? They're getting ready to go through a whole new branding effort. And let's be clear about something. Let me shout out the Washington football fans, because despite a name change, the fans, y'all ain't gone nowhere. Y'all still here. Y'all still right here, and you're not going anywhere. No one is. So the fact that this team, despite the lows and the changes and the rumors and the this and the that, still right there, still toughing it out, trust and believe. Why wouldn't a trailblazer like Jay-Z not want to be a part of it? So, hey, I would suggest you all read Russ McCray's comment in the chat and take his comment very seriously. Again, why wouldn't a trailblazer like Jay-Z, why wouldn't he want to be a part of what's going down with the Washington football team? This is absolutely a team to watch, not just on the field, but off. So more to come and remains to be seen. You all, we've made it another week on Coaching from the Couch. I appreciate you all so very much. Please stay safe. Please absolutely stay safe. Still wear your mask. Do all of the things right. Your hand sanitizer, wash your hands, do all that. Social distance. I know things are opening back up, but please, 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 absolutely still be safe. Okay? I will see you guys next week.